RGTI has not been left behind, even though it's not making as much money as QBTS. It doesn't have any, hasn't delivered any product yet, or hasn't given any timeline as to when they will come up. I could be wrong about that, but it certainly doesn't have. It's not where RGTI is. IGTI. I'm sorry. It's not where QBTS is. Clearly, in terms of product delivery, in terms of a product in the market, or even services, as the case may be. QBTS has a product. It has customers, and they're not small customers. They're major, big time customers. But regardless, it's not. It hasn't been left behind. RGTI hasn't been left behind. Tagging along regardless. Strong bullish trend regardless. Even though it hasn't, the stock hasn't performed as well as QBTS, but regardless, it is still picking up, still finding strength on this daily chart. The 10-day moving average has been a source of supply, I would say, since about a month now, constantly picking up strength from them. Each time it comes close or closes. Each time it closes on it or below it, slightly below it, it picks up momentum, and it's just been doing that relentlessly. But as things stand right now, the extrapolation is that we are going to see a slightly bearish, if not distributive correction that may play out, but that may not be the case. That may not be the case. QBTI is delivering, and market participants, if they think yeah, but they won't, they will still buy. They're going to come and buy RGTI regardless. It seems, I believe. So even though the extrapolation is for a distributive correction, that may not pan out. Higher highs may continue to print. Especially like I said, given that QBTS has is silencing a lot of critics, a lot of skeptics. Let's see now what we have in terms of projections. We have a down projection here, 12.47. We may have upper projections, I think. Let's see now whether we have any for our GTI. Let's see whether we have the previous projections. Yeah, let me see. We may have somewhere. GTI, let's see. Yeah, we have. It has broken through one of them, 12.71. Next one is next target is 14.23, and after that 15.79. So let's see now. Has it printed there? Some of those projections, they have printed them already. Just coming off them. It's printed them already as of early this year. Let's next target we have is 14.23. Let's take a look. Let's have a look at 14.23 on this daily chart to see what the probability looks like. A cause rate estimation, 14.23. Okay, let's see, we have 14.26, 14.21 here. The moving average, if you look over here, this is where the moving averages are. You subtract the moving average from your projection, and then you divide that by the standard deviation for the specific period, and then you use that figure and obtain a probability. You use that figure and go to a Z table. You can see the Z table on the screen here. One of the tabs on this browser I'm using. That's where you go and you use that value, use the product of the outcome of your sum of your calculation to pick up the probability. So we can see now what once the moving average is higher than your target, then you are definitely looking at a projection that is a probability that is more than 50%. So out of the four moving averages, we have only the 10 moving average, which is the first one, 16.4. It has a value that is bigger than 14.21. So the probability of it printing 14.21 is, you might even do that while we're talking about this now, is more than 50%. More than 50%. So let's move on. That's based on its 10-day moving average. Based on its 10-day moving average. Other ones will be less than 50%. Let's see now. Next target is 15 point. Let me see. I have it here. RGTI 15.79. Let's see. 15.79 is somewhere here. Okay, we have 15.78. So you can see as well, the moving average is equally bigger than our projection of 15.78. So it is something that can, yeah, you can. As a matter of fact, there was a previous projection there. We have it as 15.82, slightly above our own 15.82. Yeah, yeah. And then we have this one, this upper projection, not our. It's calculated by the machine learning logic. We have 17.31. Okay, the probability of this happening is less than 50%. Yeah. So that's what's going on. Let's see now. We could quickly have a look at its 4 hour chart and see what's going on. On the 4 hour chart, well, a contraction is extrapolated, more of a distributive contraction as well. Let's see now. In terms of projections, no upper projection. We have 10.43, 10.79, 11.37. There were projections that were in play before now. Let's get them. We have all of them, as a matter of fact. Okay, only one is an upper projection, 14.47. All the other ones are, okay, yeah, 13.77 is slight upper projection. And then you have downward projection of 12.68. Sometimes these projections can come up. We can see there's one here that was in play, very not as of Tuesday. It could prove to be a resistance. As a matter of fact, the algos are projecting their computation is just like closed, pivoted just right above that, implying that that may have been taken into consideration. Yeah. Let's come back to the daily chart. We can remain here and quickly have a look at its price pressure momentums. Okay, just one of them, price ppm one. Here, let's get this is for the 4 hour charts. Okay, so we can see it. Because of the strength it has been showing of late, they can see it has a very strong value, 10.65, 10.6252. So the probability of it remaining above its 10 period moving average on this 4 hour chart is very high, very high. But it does not mean that it can change. As of right now, it's very high. It's the angle of attack is a steep one. Yeah, indicating that something has happened to the price and has drawn the moving average upward as well. And usually, when that happens, there's a good chance that the price is way ahead. And but for it to come back and for it to come back below that is the chance is very slim technically. It also indicates that it that 10-day moving average can prove to be a support. It can prove to be a support. It's a support that can catch it if it begins to decline. We have around there as well where it's currently trading. We have this well emphasized projection of 11.97, just slightly above where that moving average is. We have also seen that, yeah, of late as well, of late, especially, yeah, of late, a couple of data points that indicated that that temporary moving average served as a primary demand line, meaning that when it came there, demand grew, but not as, yeah, not as of late. We can see that it broke through way below that. So maybe not as concrete as other indications can prove. Let's jump down to the 4 hour chart, to the daily chart. On the daily chart, let's see what the Price pressure momentum is seen as well. Yes, quite strong on this 3 hour chart. Not as strong as it was as it is on the 4 hour chart, but still strong anyway. Still very strong. The probability of it falling below that moving average is not high at all. And yeah, and also just right around there as well. There's also another Fibonacci projection that can also validating that there is some support around there. We have two of them, as a matter of fact. We have this one here, 12.51, and then down here we have 11.73, and the moving average itself is at 11.58. So just right around there, a couple of supports there. Yeah. So let's see what the trading range is. Let's see now here on Think and Swim. It's way outside of its price channel, indicating that it could come back in. Yeah, it could come back in. Yeah, which is not a problem. I think people understand that. But let's apply the market grid here. Sometimes they can diverge, even though they're generally of the same purpose. Generally, let's have a look and see. Okay, the stock is at 13.82, so it's trading just like we saw on it on Think and Swim. It's way outside of its price channel, so a correction is likely to happen. It's something that can happen, but there's a good chance it's going to be caught if it comes close to the if it comes close to its 10-day moving average, it might prove to be a support. So the upper line of that market of this market grid is at 12.14, and we have these supports at 12.36, and then down here at 11.82, and the 10-day moving average is at 11.58. So a couple of supports out there. Technically speaking, if it's just based on maybe machines alone, or yeah, or just modest momentum, modest trading activities, they may well serve to be good supports. But if it's a very sudden bad news, then they may not catch it, but it may. But regardless, the QBTS, now the poster child of the quantum space, is doing well, and it's drawing RGTI along. RGTI previously, as of last year, was even probably early this year, was the poster child, and it dragged QBTS along, and the reverse is now the case. It's a good symbiosis, and the market participants are keeping that way as well. They're acknowledging that there's a need to keep them all together. None of them should be left behind. Yeah. So let's see what's going on in terms of in terms of liquidity. Not very wonderful. Not wonderful. You see, yes, definitely some aggression behind what's going on. Yeah, it could be worse than this. We can see decent numbers going through here. Decent numbers. Yeah, it could be more as well, but you can see there's one. There's one very tiny numbers. So I think going by the fact that it's up 26.09%. Just we could just say modestly, um, yeah, liquidity not so wonderful, but it could be worse. Yeah. Okay, let's just quickly have a look at its short interval charts. Okay, this is the 1 minute chart. Let's see what we have in terms of projections. Okay, no, okay, we have some projections here. 14.04, 14.17, 14.24. Let's look at the 3 minutes. We have 14.53, 14.92, 15.16. So validating some of our own projections. Let's look at the 10 minutes. We have 11.12 downward projection. Yeah, 30 minutes. We have what do we have? 11.76 downward projection. Let's look at the 45 minutes. What do we have? We have 11.74 downward projection. I don't think we have looked at the. We haven't looked at some of these other hourly charts, 1 hour charts. I believe we haven't. We didn't. Let's see now. We have no upper projection 11.83. 2 hour charts. What do we have? We have down projection 13.01. And the 3 hour charts. Let's see what we have. We have 13.39, 13.84, just slightly above where it is. Okay, I didn't see if we had any news. Okay, Rigetti Computing executive sells over 1.2 million shares. Okay. Ion Q stock jumps 21% following Q1 earnings results. Bull of the day, D Wave. Yeah. Let's see whether they mentioned RGTI here. Yeah, it was about that its most advanced quantum processor to date. Their Advantage 2 system is commercial grade and built to address real world use cases in areas such as optimization, material simulation, and artificial intelligence. Okay, let's see whether RGTI features anywhere here. Okay, as we learned from NVIDIA's Jensen Huang and other quantum experts recently at the first ever NVIDIA Quantum Summit in March, the world's most advanced computers will use a combination of CPUs, GPUs, and QPUs or quantum computing units. GPUs are not only very far from competing with GPUs, they will likely never replace them. Okay, and Jensen made sure everyone knew that when he graciously invited those leaders for a powwow a month after completely dismissing the nascent industry. Okay, let's see here. It was thought last year that Quantinum might fetch a valuation as high as $10 billion if it IPOs this year. That estimate is probably higher now and driving more investors to bet on the ponies already running on the public track, including RGTI and IMQ. Let's see, Quantinum, the private quantum computing company, majority owned by Honeywell, finalized a $1 billion agreement with a Qatari investment firm last week. The firm is spread over a decade. The number is spread over a decade, but it does show a commitment to the technology that has not been seen in the revenues of any of the of the companies yet. Okay, so yeah, that's what's going on. Just see what you make of RGTI, and thank you very much for watching this video.